Have you ever noticed how some people seem to enjoy testing your limits? They cut you off mid-sentence, hide insults behind jokes, or act like your time and feelings don't matter. And what's expected of you? To smile, to laugh it off, to pretend nothing happened. But enough is enough. If you're tired of accepting disrespect as if it were normal, this video is for you. Because today, I'm going to show you bold, direct, maybe even controversial ways to deal with people who cross the line, without losing your cool and, most importantly, without giving up your dignity. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to make your boundaries crystal clear to anyone. So let's dive in. There's this unspoken rule in society: when someone provokes you, you're supposed to fire back instantly. They disrespect you, you clap back. They insult you, you defend yourself. But here's the truth. Reacting fast is exactly what they want. Why? Because in that split second, your emotions hijack your brain. Anger, fear, frustration. They cloud your judgment and push you to act without thinking. And that's their trap. It's like chess. A beginner panics when pressured by the opponent's clock, but a master, he never rushes. He knows every move must be calculated. When you slow down, you rise above the game. Choosing not to react immediately is not weakness. It's strategy. It's stepping back to see the full picture before making your move. And sometimes, the smartest move is silence. Think about it. If someone tries to provoke you, what they crave is proof that they got under your skin. But if you don't react, you send the ultimate message. Your attack was so small it didn't even deserve my attention. It's like being a wall, solid, unmoved, untouched by the wind. So here's my challenge for you. Next time someone tries to destabilize you, pause. Let silence do the talking. And if you decide to respond, do it with clarity and purpose, because the real power isn't just knowing how to react, it's knowing when not to. This is one of my all-time favorite techniques. It's simple but brutally effective, the silent stare. Now you might be thinking, seriously, just look at them. Yes, exactly that. Because nothing rattles a disrespectful person more than a calm, steady, emotionless gaze. Why does it work? Because people who disrespect others thrive on reaction. They want you to stumble, snap back, get angry. They want to drag you into their drama. But when you meet their behavior with complete silence and lock eyes with them, you flip the power dynamic on its head. Suddenly, they're the ones feeling exposed. I'll tell you a story. I was in a group meeting once, and there was this guy who wouldn't stop interrupting me. You know, the type, loud, overly confident, thinking everyone came just to hear him. I tried to be polite. I tried to keep talking, but he kept cutting me off. So finally, I leaned back in my chair, crossed my arms, and looked straight at him. No blinking, no expression. 5 full seconds of absolute silence. The room got tense. Everyone else turned to him, waiting to see how he'd respond. And guess what? He started to stumble over his words. He looked around nervously. And from that moment on, he didn't interrupt me again. In fact, he actually started treating me with more respect. That's the beauty of the silent stare. It's not about aggression, it's about self-control. You're telling them without a single word, I'm not playing your game. And here's the deeper truth. When you use this technique, you're not just confronting them, you're reminding yourself that you don't owe anyone a reaction. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to prove your worth to people who refuse to see it. It's a small act of resistance, but a powerful declaration of self-respect. So, next time someone tries to belittle you, just stop. Look them dead in the eye. Let your silence carry the weight. You'll be amazed at how uncomfortable they become and how empowered you feel. Because that silent stare says louder than words ever could, I respect myself too much to be dragged into your negativity. Let me share a secret. Most people underestimate silence is not weakness, it's power. When someone disrespects you, your natural instinct is to respond. To defend yourself, to prove them wrong. But here's the catch: every time you do, you hand them your energy. Silence, on the other hand, flips the script. It says, "You don't deserve my words. You don't deserve my energy." Think about it. People who thrive on disrespect are hunting for a reaction. They want an argument, an excuse, some validation for their bad behavior. But when you meet their insult with nothing but calm silence, it's like pulling the plug on their power source. Suddenly they're left alone with their own words echoing back at them. And that silence, it's deafening. I'll give you a real example. There was someone in my life who loved to hide insults behind little jokes. One day they made a nasty comment about my work, clearly just to provoke me. Normally, I would have explained myself, defended my choices, maybe even snapped back. But that day, I just raised an eyebrow and said nothing. The room went quiet. They shifted uncomfortably, mumbled something, and walked away. That was the last time they tried it with me, because they realized there was no power to gain if I didn't play along. That's the magic of silence. It cuts disrespect off at the root. It says I value my peace more than your opinion. And here's the truth: the moment you stop feeling the need to respond to every sarcastic jab or disguised insult, that's the moment you free yourself. You stop giving people access to your inner world, and you start living on your own terms. Now, don't get me wrong. Learning to embrace silence isn't easy. I used to believe that if I didn't defend myself, people would see me as weak. But every time I reacted, I ended up drained, frustrated, and replaying the situation in my head for hours. The first time I chose silence, instead I felt lighter, stronger, in control. It was like taking my power back piece by piece. So here's my challenge for you. The next time someone disrespects you, pause. Breathe deeply, look them in the eye, and don't say a word. Let your silence do the talking. You'll be surprised by how uncomfortable they get and how free you feel, because sometimes the loudest statement you can make is saying absolutely nothing. How many times have you made a decision just for yourself and immediately someone demanded, "But why? Why did you skip that event? Why did you choose that job? Why are you living that way?" It's as if the world thinks your life is a public Q&A session, but here's the truth. You don't owe anyone an explanation for the way you live. Most of the time, people aren't asking because they genuinely want to understand. They're asking to judge, to poke holes, to make you doubt yourself so they can feel better about their own choices. And every time you over-explain, you hand them the power to question you even more. I'll give you an example. When I decided to change careers, leaving a safe job for something I truly loved, people acted like I'd lost my mind. Why would you walk away from stability? How are you going to make it work? At first, I tried to justify myself. I talked about passion, about having a plan, about wanting more fulfillment. But no matter what I said, it was never enough. They always found another question, another doubt, to throw back at me. Until one day I stopped explaining. Someone asked, "But why would you leave a secure job?" And I simply said, "Because I wanted to." Silence followed. They had no comeback. And you know what? It was liberating. That's the beauty of not explaining yourself. You reclaim your autonomy. You tell the world, "My life isn't open for debate." Think about it. When was the last time you saw someone truly confident, wasting time defending every decision they made? Probably never. Because people who are secure in themselves don't need outside approval. They know their choices are valid simply because they made them. So here's my challenge for you. The next time someone questions your choices, resist the urge to over-explain. Say, "Because it was right for me," and leave it at that. Notice how much lighter you feel. Notice how your confidence grows. Because the truth is, your decisions don't need anyone else's stamp of approval. They're valid simply because they're yours. Let's be real. Sometimes the healthiest thing you can do with people who constantly disrespect you is to step back. Now, some will say, "That's cold, that's rude," but they're family. But you've known them for years. But here's the harsh truth. Not everyone deserves a front row seat in your life. Protecting your peace is not cruelty, it's self-respect. Think of your life like an exclusive club. Not everyone gets a VIP pass. And if someone repeatedly crosses your boundaries, belittles you, or drains your energy, why on earth should they stay on the guest list? I'll share a story. I once had a friend who always found a way to throw shade at my choices, my career, my relationships, even my taste in music. At first, I brushed it off. That's just how he is. But over time, those little jabs cut deeper. I realized I was walking on eggshells around him, waiting for the next sarcastic comment. So I tried something different. I didn't confront him. I didn't make a scene. I simply started seeing him less. Once a week turned into once a month. And you know what I felt lighter. Free. That distance gave me clarity. I finally saw just how toxic the friendship had become. Here's the truth. Distancing yourself isn't about hate. It's about respect for yourself. Of course, some people will guilt-trip you. They'll say, but it's your family, or you've been friends forever. But loyalty doesn't mean self-destruction. Protecting your peace is not selfish, it's necessary. You are not here to be someone's emotional punching bag. You are not here to constantly provide validation at the expense of your own sanity. Sometimes the most powerful way to say enough is to walk away. Distance sends a message. I am my priority. I decide who gets access to me. And here's the beauty: when you create space from people who drain you, you create space for those who truly respect and uplift you. So here's my challenge. Take a hard look at your relationships. Who leaves you feeling small, drained, or anxious? Ask yourself, do they really deserve this much access to my life? Because the moment you start protecting your space, you discover a new kind of freedom. A freedom filled with peace, energy, and the clarity to grow. This may sound simple, almost cliché, but trust me, it's pure gold when you're dealing with people who don't respect you, because disrespect always has one goal: to shrink you, to make you lower your gaze, question yourself, and dim your presence. And the most powerful way to respond: stand tall, shoulders back, head high. It's a silent declaration: I know who I am. And nothing you say or do can take that away from me. I remember dealing with someone who never missed a chance to throw little digs at me, always with that smug smile, always wrapped in jokes. And for a while, I let it get to me. Just the thought of seeing them put me on edge. But one day I decided no more. I walked into the room, tall, shoulders back, head high. Every time they tried a sarcastic jab, I looked them in the eye, smiled, and carried on like it meant nothing. And guess what? Their power over me vanished. Their words bounced right off. Because the truth is, people who thrive on disrespect hate seeing you confident. It shatters the illusion that they can control you. Walking tall is like wearing invisible armor. It says, I'm untouchable. And here's the deeper truth. Your worth doesn't come from others. It's not something you earn through approval or applause. It's something you claim every day by the way you carry yourself. So here's my challenge for you. The next time someone disrespects you, don't flinch. Don't shrink. Breathe deep. Straighten your shoulders. Hold your head high. Look them in the eye as if to say, I see you. But I'm above this. Feel that calm strength in your body. Feel the peace of knowing their words have no power over you. Because at the end of the day, respect begins with you. And the higher you hold your head, the less room there is for anyone else's negativity to drag you down. If this resonated with you, drop a quick comment below. My respect comes first. That way, I'll know you stayed with me until the very end. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. Because we're just getting started, and the principles of stoicism can truly change how you see life. Remember, protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's strength. So stand tall, respect yourself, and watch how the world starts to treat you differently.